Hello? Brother. Hello? Okay, that works. That works. I don't need this. Alright, I can't show the actual game. Otherwise, my stream's gonna get taken down. But I will commentate, okay? Game's tied 2-2. Brewers up to bat. Hamilton up to bat. Seymour is the Anywho. 1-2 pitch. Seymour to Hamilton, and that is a, I genuinely can't see it. 2-2 count now. And that's a strikeout. We're going into the 8th inning, y'all. The count is still 2 apiece. We're going into the 8th inning, ladies and gentlemen. And no one has still won the game. Brett, I need to edit this title, but I can't. Man, wow. I can't edit it from the app. I can't edit it on my phone. What am I supposed to do, man? Anyways. The 0-1 pitch. Top of the 8th inning. Ashby's pitching for Milwaukee. Number 2, or Aranda, whatever your name is up to bat. It is now 2-1 count. Now a 2-1 count. Aranda to pitch, Aranda to hit, Ashby to pitch. The 2-1 pitch, and that is a ball. As in, like, balls. The 3-1 pitch has 3 balls. You used to have 2 balls. What you think about that, huh? Anyways, 3-1 pitch. And that is going to be a foul ball. Almost walked him. 3-2. We are now at a 3-2 count. This next pitch matters a lot. The 3-2 pitch. And that is the most balliest ball to ever ball. Also, the game keeps freaking lagging. I don't know what kind of that was, but yikes, bro. Bullpen era leaders. We have the Brewers at number 3. Okay. Seems pretty interesting, if I do say so myself. Carson Williams in first base. New count, 0-0 pitch. Salusa up to hit. And that is going to be strike 1 up the middle. An 0-1 pitch. An 0-1 count, sorry. I mean, from what I've seen, Ashby's been struggling this inning. Oh my goodness. That's a pop fly. Caught by Frelick. And that's going to be 1 out for Tampa Bay. New pitch. And that's going to be a ground fly. Double play incoming, and they got it. And then we're headed into the bottom of the 8th inning, ladies and gentlemen. The greatest team to ever do it has done the double play again. I mean, dang. This team is just... What isn't this team good at? What isn't Bryce Terrain good at, man? He earlier hit a home run. And you can't really ask for much more. You really cannot ask for much more out of this team. This Milwaukee Brewers team is building something special here. Especially that I don't care if y'all say I'm glazing. I don't care. Anyways, let's check in with other MLB teams. I'm using the Real app. Brewers still tied at 2 apiece. The Nationals lead the Phillies 5-3. The Rockies and the Blue Jays are tied 1-1. The Mets and the Cardinals are tied 1-1. The Red Sox and the Astros lead the Red Sox 5-2. The Cubs lead the Angels 5-0. The Diamondbacks lead the Tigers 1-0. Okay. And in terms of previous games today, the Pirates beat the Reds 8-3. The Orioles beat the Rangers 8-3. The Braves beat the Athletics 5-1. And the Marlins wiped the floor with the worst team to ever do it. The Chicago White Sox, sorry. 10-0. If that doesn't tell you how bad this team is, I don't know what will. Oh my goodness. Why do you swing at that, man? I've been looking away for the longest amount of time. And we're already off to an 0-2 pitch start from Josh Ortiz. The 0-2 pitch, and that is the most... Oof. That was not a good ball whatsoever. That was a 1-2 pitch now. Ortiz still at the bat. Jacks to pitch, and that is going to fly foul. Still a 1-2 pitch. Both teams have looked great defensively. I mean, the Rays, they've had a few errors here and there in this game, but there's another error. Speaking of errors, everyone, the Rays just did another one. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Both teams have looked pretty good defensively, although the Rays have had a few errors, and the Rays just did another error. The ball just bounced right off his glove. I don't know what you want me to say, man. This Rays team, sometimes they look good, sometimes they don't. It is what it is. And the same can be said about the Brewers. And that's going to be a bunt going to first base, and he dropped it. And that's another error for Tampa Bay. And the Brewers now have 2 men on base, 1 on first, 1 on second, with no outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Milwaukee putting to put some points on the board, ladies and gentlemen. Forget what I said about this Tampa Bay Rays team looking good defensively. They have committed so many errors, it's not even funny. But the surprising part is that this Milwaukee team is only tied with the Rays right now. I feel like any other good team would be up 7-2 at this point in the game with this many errors from the Rays. But anyways, that's going to be a 1-1 pitch for the Tampa Bay Rays to the Milwaukee Brewers. 1-1 count in the bottom of the 8th inning with 0 outs and a man on first and second base, and that's going to be a 2-1 count now. Oh, boy. 2-1 pitch. William Contreras up to bat. I completely forgot to say who was up to bat. It's William Contreras, the catcher. And that is a fly. That's not a fly. That is a ball up high. Sorry. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1 pitch, 2 men on base, and that is going to be a base hit. As nobody comes in, the bases are loaded with 0 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning, ladies and gentlemen. Milwaukee is in scoring position for the first time since, I believe, the 4th inning, when the score was tied 2-2. William Contreras loads the bases, ladies and gentlemen. William Contreras, my guy. Greatest catcher in the league. And that's not me being delusional. That's me speaking facts. We steal the most bases, and we don't let anybody steal bases against us. That's what I'm talking about. The Brewers are now 3rd in risk leaders for 2026 with a batting average of .339. And that is 3rd in the league, with the Dodgers at number 1. Christian Yelich up to bat, bases loaded, 0 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Yelich. And that's going to be a 0-1 count for Milwaukee. Last series in Game 3, Christian Yelich hit a go-ahead home run, and that's another base hit. And 1 runs in, and it looks like another one's gonna run in, and that is a 4-2 ball game. At the bottom of the 8th inning, Milwaukee's up 4-2 now. Christian Yelich does it again. Runners, and there are now people on base. On first on first base and second base. Sorry, y'all, I cannot speak today. As Bowers goes up to hit, that's going to be a 1-0. That's going to be a 1-0 count for Tampa Bay. Milwaukee is up 4-2 now at the bottom of the 8th inning. This team has yet to play an away game. And as a 1-1 count now. Runners on first and second base for Milwaukee. Contreras and Yelich are on base. And that is a 2-1 count now for Jake Bowers. What? Will the Milwaukee Magic continue to happen? Only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it's going to be a 3-1 count, I guess. Will they make it 3-2, or will Bowers get walked as well? It's again, only time will tell. You know, things have not been looking good for Tampa Bay defensively, and that's going to be a 3-2 count, but things have not been looking good defensively for Tampa Bay. They have had error after error after error, and that's what's caused Milwaukee to have so many runs in this inning. Milwaukee is up 4-2 at the bottom of the 8th inning. Jacks to pitch. And that's going to be no, it's not going to be a base hit. That's going to be out number 1. Wait, no? No, I guess not. Turns out that was a foul ball. Turns out that ball went foul. I apologize. That was a mistake from me. I thought that was in play. 3-2 pitch. And he is going to get walked. The bases are loaded again, ladies and gentlemen. This is peak baseball from Milwaukee. This defense, the Tampa Bay Rays are suffering. The Tampa Bay Rays are suffering a defensive collapse as the bases are loaded once again after the Brewers have scored 2 runs, with no outs in the inning, and the bases are loaded for the second time in the inning by the Milwaukee. And we're on commercial break. Let's check in with the scores again. Let's check in with my stream, make sure it's still going. Oh my goodness, my camera! Brewers are up 4-2. 0 outs. I gotta fix my camera, gang. The Phillies and the Nationals are tied 5-5. The Rockies lead the Blue Jays 2-1. Needless to say, they're not going to the World Series anymore. The Mets, I almost said the Nets. The Mets are tied with the Cardinals 1-1. The Astros lead the Red Sox 6-2. The Cubs lead the Angels, unfortunately, 5-2. The Diamondbacks lead the Tigers 1-0. The Yankees and Mariners game just started 0-0. Same with the Padres-Giants game, 0-0. And we are back with Milwaukee baseball. But hang on, I need to fix my disconnected UVC camera. What are you talking about? What do you mean disconnected? Does my front camera work now? It does. Let's go. Okay. We are back in business, ladies and gentlemen. And that is going to be a changeup, and that's going to be a ball. Bases are loaded once again. 1-0 count, no outs in the inning. Bottom of the 8th. The Brewers are up 4-2. Mitchell up to bat, and that's going to be another ball. 2-0 count. It's a 2-0 pitch, and that's going to be another base hit. Down to the right, up first base, and the runner comes in, and that's going to be another error, and 2 runners run in, and that's going to be a 6-2 ball game. 2 runners on base again. This time, second and third. I missed part of the game, dang it. My stream freaking froze up. There's now 1 out. The 0-1 pitch. And that's going to be a 1-1 pitch. Milwaukee has looked unstoppable this inning. And it looks like the Tampa Bay Rays. It looks like the Tampa Bay Rays are suffering an even bigger defensive collapse. That's going to be a foul ball. The 1-2 pitch. Perkins? Not Perkins. Perkins is up to hit. The 1-2 pitch. 1 out. Runners on third and second. Perkins up to hit. And what's that going to be? It's going to be an out at first base. There's now 2 outs on the board for Milwaukee. The Brewers, never mind. Hang on. A runner just ran in, ladies and gentlemen. They snuck one in. The Brewers snuck a runner in from third base. There is now only 1 runner on second base, and he's going to go to third base. It's now 7-2 ball game. Milwaukee has ran in 5. Milwaukee has ran in 5 this inning. And that's going to be a foul ball. And a fan caught it. Kudos to that fan. David Hamilton, a 0.91 batting average. That's just not good. And it's going to be an 0-2 count now. Inning is looking to be over now. As Hamilton's up to bat, Mitchell's at third. 2 outs, 0-2 count. Brewers up 7-2. The 0-2 pitch. And is that going to be another base hit? It is! Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. We are experiencing peak baseball at its finest. The Brewers are now up 8-2 at the bottom of the 8th inning. Runner on first this time as Garrett Mitchell runs in for another run. The Milwaukee Brewers, ladies and gentlemen, they look unstoppable. I keep looking at this camera. I gotta look at this camera. The Milwaukee Brewers have looked unstoppable as The Rays have suffered many defensive errors, and Milwaukee has taken advantage of every single one. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the inning. Finally, the Milwaukee Brewers have ran in 6, I believe, as the 8th inning ends as we head to the top of the 9th inning. All Milwaukee has to do is hold Tampa Bay where they're at right now, and it's going to be ball game, ladies and gentlemen. This has been amazing. This has been absolutely amazing effort from this Milwaukee offense. The Tampa Bay defense, they've just simply collapsed. It seems like they don't have any heart to play. It seems like they just don't care, you know? But yeah, this Milwaukee offense has looked absolutely unstoppable this entire inning. And they have taken advantage of the fact that the Rays have been making errors all day. And they have. They ball after ball after ball. If you look at the stats, but I'm sure some of you are right now. If you look at the stats, right? Milwaukee has 0 errors. Tampa Bay has 4. The Brewers have 8 runs. The Rays have 2. The Brewers have 7 hits. The Rays have 4. The Rays have been outperformed in every single category there is. As at this point in time, it looks like Milwaukee's going to win the series. Unless an entire defensive collapse happens for Milwaukee as well, it looks like the Brewers have won their series. However, if the Brewers do suffer a defensive collapse, then the Rays will win this series potentially. As an 0-1 count, there's an 0-1 count for Tampa Bay, and that's going to be a pop fly down to third. You know, it's like I've yapped I'm sorry for yapping y'all's ears off, but I'm passionate about this, bro. I am absolutely passionate about this. There's an 0-2 pitch, and it looks like it's going to be foul ball. Oh, no, he got hit by the pitch, I think. Was that rule a hit by pitch, or was it a foul ball? It looks like they're going to debate it. I think it was a hit by pitch, unfortunately. But if not, then it's going to be a foul ball 0-2 count. Play under review. As they are challenging that as it was called a foul ball. Gotta put the headphones on for this one. Looks like he was hit by the pitch. Play one more time, please. Please. No, they're not going to. It looks like they have an entire replay. I never knew that. If I'm honest. I never knew there was an entire team for replays. I can't hear anything. I'm going to be honest. I cannot hear anything. It looks like it's going to be a hit by pitch. Just as I expected. Or just as I thought. Runner on first. Fortes up the bat. Hold a pitch. That's going to be ball one. That's going to be 1-0 count. Going to be 1-0 count. Here we go. The 1-0 pitch. And that's going to be strike one swinging. The 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be strike two right up the middle. Strike two looking, ladies and gentlemen. Fortes just sat there and looked at it as if it was nothing. It was almost as if he didn't see it. I guess Hall's that good of a pitcher, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's a ball two. Ball two as it almost hits his crotch. The 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be strike three swinging, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to be 1 out on the board. As it looks like Tampa Bay is not going to have the same offensive magic that Milwaukee did. Seems like this team does not show up until the 8th inning, it feels like. Brewers regular season schedule, they play the what are they called? The Royals next, sorry. The Kansas City Royals. One 0. Oh, and he's gonna smack that. That's gonna be a base hit. Runners on first and second now. Runners on first and second, 1 out at the top of the 9th inning. It looks like the Rays are trying to get some offensive magic going because they know, and everybody knows, that if they lose this, if they don't take the lead here, then the inning's over and they lose. Gonna have to get in victory formation like in football. Oh my goodness, what on earth was that? 1-0. Hall, buddy, I don't know what on earth you are doing. But I know you can do better. There you go. That's better. 1-1 pitch. 83 miles an hour. Golly. That's not really a lot when it comes to the MLB. I mean, I know not everyone can pitch 100, but I mean, it's like, there you go. That's more like it. That's not entirely, I'm not entirely sure how that's a strike, but okay. 1-2 pitch. There we go. A 1-2 pitch. And that's going to be strike three swinging. There is now two outs on the board, ladies and gentlemen. Hall has done his job. He has done his job very well. Palsy. Okay, I gotta read that again. I'm sorry, I can't. It looks like the pitcher's coach is gonna come up to talk to Hall, as well as Contreras as well. Trying to get him in the right headspace because I'll say this: top of the ninth in a must strikeout situation. In a must strikeout situation. This matters more than anything. And if I remember this correctly, this is a whole new situation for Hall. So it's very obvious that this could be a very, 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 very pressuring situation for a young guy like Hall. 1-0 count. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a foul ball. I thought for a second that was a base hit, man. But nope, it's a foul ball, 1-1 count. Hall, and that's going to be ball number 2. As I forgot to mention earlier, there are 2 runners. There are runners on first and second for Tampa Bay. So if the Rays can get a double here, that would be amazing for them. If they can get a home run, that would be amazing, because that would be almost a grand slam. 1 run shy of a grand slam. So just a simple home run will put Tampa Bay back in this game. 2-2 count. 2-2 count. Hall to pitch. And that's going to be strike 3, swinging. And Milwaukee's going to win it. 8-2. Huh? Oh. What a absolute whooping as Milwaukee wins the series. 2-1, with the final one being 8-2. That is exactly what I love to see from Milwaukee. That is exactly what I love to see. Anyways, y'all, it's been R-Dog, and